Hey, back with another video. Um, it's a little harder today. So like I was telling you in my last video, I feel like it's bad luck when I engage in sexual activity. I try to suppress a lot of those feelings because I just notice every encounter that I have, and I didn't do anything last year, so that's why nothing really bad happened to me. It was really just my own bad choices with the not working. But nothing really bad happened to me last year that I couldn't really fix without my own money. With my that I couldn't fix. That, like, there was nothing that I couldn't do. I'm sorry. There was nothing that happened to me last year that I couldn't fix myself. But like 2 years before that, like 2021, I met a girl online around like November, and look on my channel. I had problems with my car like the next week after that encounter. Then in 2022, around October, it was around like the middle of October, early October, I met another girl in Atlanta online, met up, and then my tire, if you want to see where that video is, I think it was called White Guy Saves My Ass or something like that. This is when my car, the tire was out. Literally, they put my spare on for really nothing because I didn't know how to put it on myself. But the tire that I had a hole in it, I was riding around with that thing. It wrapped around my hubcap, and I almost didn't make it to the shop. I was literally, I had an invalid license at the time, no insurance, and I was sure I probably would have got busted. But that happened the very week or two after my encounter with that girl online. And after that, I just began to connect the dots. I just told myself, like, obviously you shouldn't be doing this, because the thing about sex is, if you're not procreating in the process, I feel like something bad in my mind, and it's right, nothing bad is going to happen if you're not procreating in the process, because you're killing potential children by just ejaculating yourself or on a person or in a person, and then they use birth control. Because they do say birth control is responsible for miscarriages too. But with the food I put in my body, I feel like it doesn't help, because it makes a lot of foods that I shouldn't be eating, like soy and dairy and gluten, it does give me like a higher sex drive, and it's a lot worse when I don't act on them. And I have control. Obviously, I'm deterred to do anything from God, second from just the law. Like, there are laws. And let me just make this very clear. I don't want nobody violating me. So don't get the idea that I want to violate another female, because I'm turned off by just that whole concept. Like, I don't want to force anybody to do anything. That's just not something that I do. But this is just one theory that I have, and you may think I'm overthinking it a little too much, but they say that when you sleep with a person, and I'm not really trying to get all into, like, I'm not trying to make this video too graphic, but when you engage, because this is really with females, like I said, I ain't trying to get all graphic, but this is really with females. They say when you have a person's DNA inserted in you, you become part of that person. So I'm not a rapist, I'm not a pedophile, I'm not a sex offender, I'm nothing that will send me to jail, on none of those things. But I just believe that when you sleep with, let's just say, it doesn't have to be a prostitute, let's just say a female, who sleeps with like a bunch of guys she doesn't know. It doesn't have to necessarily be for money, but maybe she's just doing it for attention. Because I remember this girl at one of my old jobs. She allowed men to rape her, not like forcibly, but statutorily she would like allow men to rape her. You know, she she would date like guys in their 30s, and she was like 17, 16. And I just think a lot of guys that go after young girls, yeah, they are pedophiles. But let's say me and that girl at that job, we got into a relationship, and she still has DNA inside of her from the last guy she was with. Let's say one of the guys that she dealt with was a pedophile. I mean, he obviously is if he's dealing with her. Would that DNA now go into me? Like, would that DNA from him would all that be into me now? Like, would I have pedophile energy in me from when she dealt with him and whatever they did, where his DNA is in her? Would it be in me now? And this is why I'm doing the things that I do, because they always say when you have sex more, your tolerance for sex, that's just my theory, it builds up more. But when you sleep with random people you don't know, and you don't know what kind of men that she deals with, does their DNA go inside of you? And that's my theory. Is that how people become rapists and pedophiles? And sorry if I say this, but in some cases too, is that how some people like turn out to be gay? Not where when they were doing it when they were young, but I mean people that are a lot older, and you never seen them with a man, but now all of a sudden they just start telling you like, I'm open to just experimenting, but they never told you anything that implied they were gay. That's my question. Do you think that it may have something to do with the DNA of another person being inserted into them, and that's why they have this energy going on? That's just my only thing I'm trying to understand. Because one thing I know about rapists, serial killers, pedophiles, and sex perverts, they love paying for sex, and they love to find underage girls willing to, get money, like take money for sex, and they sleep with everybody. So if you're sleeping with pedophiles, rapists, and serial killers, does that energy transfer over to you, depending on what you're doing? Because, like I said, there are ways where the woman's DNA, like the saliva, is inserted into the man, and then vice versa. The DNA of the man is inserted into the woman. I always just thought about that a lot. But with the food, I'm done with it, because I just don't know what they're putting in that shit. Where I could deal being tired, I could deal with being sluggish, but it's really hard when you're more like, just, you got all this energy built up in you and you can't act on it because you just want to do the right thing, and you can't live the right way putting the wrong foods in your life. But they are obviously putting a lot of shit, a lot of chemicals in these foods, man. Because let me just say this, I'm all over the place with this video. A lot of people that are in jail, because I've never really spoken this before, but a lot of people that are in jail that have problems with just, and I'm not taking up for them at all, but people that are in jail. Remember this one dude, he groped a 12-year-old girl at a Subway. This is in Wisconsin. This got like a bunch of views, and they tackled his ass because he ran away. They found him at work. He ran. He wasn't that fast. They tackled his ass in the street, and then he surrendered. And mysteriously, he was arrested near another Subway. But he was telling officers, I need help. I'm sick. And I really, personally, I don't think he wanted to do that. But it was possibly food that he was eating that got him where he just wanted to do that to that girl. I'm not defending it because he had the choice of acting on it. But I think what they're putting in his food is doing this to people, because I'm looking at him. It looks like he eats the same shit as me. And you got to learn, like, you got to have boundaries. Like, okay, it's obviously wrong to do that. Obviously, now that girl's gonna be scoring for life. Like, let me tell you this. When I go to the gym and I shower there, and I, like, after like a workout or something, and somebody is old, like younger than me, I always get out. I always cover myself, or I always leave. I personally think in gyms, they need to segregate the ages. It should not. There's no reason why you should have 12-year-olds in the locker room where you got 50-year-olds and 40-year-olds. That's fucking disgusting to me. It's not that I'm necessarily. I just hate pedophilia, and I'm just trying to protect children. It's more of respect. Just respect the space of other people. Just how I want my space respected, you respect the space of other people. But back to that guy, I really don't think he wanted to act on that, but his brain and his body was just urging him to. He had those urges to do that, and it's possibly from the food that he was putting in his body. I think a lot of the foods that they're making, they put a lot of fucked up chemicals in there where people are just freaking monsters. That's just my theory right there. I know I'm all over the place with this video, but this is why I'm trying to eat a lot better, because it's like it's just like a lot of this crap, man. And it's good food. I love it, but I'm not going to get nowhere just eating that all day. I'm going to be tired all the time. I'm not going to be able to concentrate, and it's just not really something that I can eat anymore. But I rented enough.